Hi everyone, it's Derek from the I Ready podcast here, and this is my reaction to the 1-1 draw with Lyon tonight in Europa League Group A, Game 6, which rounds off the group, and even obviously before the game we were through, but it rounds us off with 8 points and through in second place. So, fantastic result, a really good performance, I think, considering, Lyon are a very talented side, even though their domestic form's a wee bit iffy, but certainly we're the first team to take any points off them this season in the Europa League, and we've got to be happy overall with the result and the performance. I think we would have all taken that result before the group had even started, to be honest, so certainly a good one. A dead rubber game, obviously, both teams making a number of changes, both of us already qualified, so it was really just about giving some fresh legs a wee bit of run out and protecting players that might have been on a booking or potentially injured, so really delighted with that overall. So Lyon made 9 changes from their game at the weekend. We made 6 changes from the Dundee game. As I said, a couple of our players had yellow cards as well, so certainly the more sensible thing to do when we knew we're going to have a big game coming up in the next round. But we lined up McLaughlin, Patterson, Goldson, Bassey, Barisic, Lundstrom, Kamara, Hadji, Kent, Wright and Roof. On the subs bench were McGregor, McCrory, Arfield, Aribo, Bakuna, Davis, Kelly and Tavernier. So certainly good to see a few fresh faces in there, especially Patterson. It was good to see him there as well, and no Morelos, which was really interesting. I think he was one of the ones that was on the booking, so certainly if he wasn't going to play, then what's the point of taking him? However, the first half overall, despite it not being the most exciting game of football, it was a fairly impressive display from us. Lyon arguably had the bulk of play for the first 30 minutes, but really never done anything with it as we contained them and we were impressive in defence. The last 15 minutes of the half though, we came more into it and eventually got the goal on the 41st minute with Wright scoring. It was a long free kick from the right, floated into the box. It was initially cleared, but only to the far left. Kent picks it up, has a lovely chipped ball to Kamara just inside the box at the touchline. Kamara skins the defender with a shimmy inside and then out again. He plays a lovely ball to Wright on the edge of the box, who controls it, switches sides and has a shot that's deflected into the back of the net. A lovely all-round move, just absolute skill from Kent and Kamara there, and bit of fortune with the deflection, but I say it every single game, I don't care how they go in, you've got to have the shot, these things might happen. Arguably Lyon's best chance of the game came on the 10th minute though. It was a long ball up over our defence to Dembele. He beats the offside trap, he goes one-on-one with McLaughlin, who had narrowed the angle, and Dembele fluffs his lines. Dembele likes to give it all that out on the social media, but he's not playing against Rob Tiernan anymore, is he? So we had a really good chance in the 24th minute. It was lovely skill from Kent to Nutmeg, the Lyon player, tight on the touchline near the halfway line, plays a lovely through ball to Roof, who was about 25 yards out, who tries a shot as the keeper was off his line and he strikes the outside of the post. Really unlucky that there. A bit of a scare though a minute later because McLaughlin comes out of his box to clear the ball, but he miskicks it right to the Lyon player, who tried to shoot, but the defenders of McLaughlin were in the way all along. McLaughlin was slow to get back, but I think he was just being mindful of where the player was and trying to block his shot, and we managed to get enough defenders back to block any shots as well, which was really good defending as a team, which was really, really good to see. With another decent effort on the 36th minute with Barisic, robs the defender of the ball at the edge of the box, cuts to his other side and hits a shot right at the keeper, but it was a decent effort and good tenacity to win the ball in the first place. And then obviously we scored in the 41st minute, so really good display in the first half. We're looking to see more in the second half. In the second half itself though, despite losing an early goal, we've got to be happy with the overall performance. We lost the early goal, as I said, on the 48th minute, and it was kind of similar to ours in a way, where the attacker drove the ball into the box, got to the right side of the box near the touchline. Barisic was backing off all the time. He crossed the attacker crossed the ball in, and it hit off Bassey into the back of the net. Bassey's positioning was fine. He could have maybe done a wee bit better in his actual execution there, obviously, but it kind of more hit off him because it was hit with quite a bit of pace there. Bit of fortune there, but again, as we found out as well, these things can happen, so I'm not going to blame Bassey at all for that one there. Barisic might have done a wee bit better in closing them down, but it was one of these things. We then settle back into the rhythm. Lyon maybe slightly shading the half, but our defence soaked everything up. And that's really not to say that it was backs to the wall at all. It was just that we nullified anything Lyon tried to do going forward. We had some skillful pieces of play as well in that, mind you. A few unlucky chances. 60th minute, Wright and Hadji off Arfield and Bakuna came on. Wright had a heavy challenge on them just beforehand as well, so maybe more protecting them there. I think it was about the 65th minute, Lyon had a curling effort just by the post, so it was unlucky from them there. 72nd minute, Roof off and Aribo on. Aribo was fantastic when he came on as well, getting in amongst everything, showing some real good skill, good creative outlet as well. 83rd minute was a corner in from the right by Lyon, knocked goal bound by the attacker's head, and Davis clears it off the line. A man on the post. Hallelujah. That's what we've been asking for so long this season, so it's good to see, because that would have been a certain goal had there not been a man in the post there. Lyon had another chance in the 90th minute in the dying minutes. It was a through ball to the right hand side of our defence, finds its man, he hits a shot at an angle, but McLaughlin chests out for the corner. Really good standing up from McLaughlin there. 92nd minute, it was a free kick by us, lobbed into the Lyon box. Aribo nearly nips in and nicks the ball to round the keeper, but he couldn't quite get there, unlucky there. And then on the 93rd minute, there was a mix up between Patterson and Goldson in the middle of the park on the left hand side. Lyon attacker nicks the ball, drives it forward into the box and has a shot, but McLaughlin stood up to it as well. So that's how the game ended up, 1 each. As I said, really can't complain. When you look at the stats as well, it was 50-50 possession. Lyon had 11 shots on total, we had 7, they had 3 on target, we had 2, they had 6 corners, we had 0. So maybe a bit disappointing in the attacking sense, but certainly in terms of, going away from home, the calibre of Lyon were playing, the skillful players they've got in their team, you've got to be really happy with that performance. So, however, we've got another tough test on Sunday because we come up against an informed Hearts team. That's away to Hearts. That's a midday kick-off, so an important game there. Right after that on Monday, we've got the draw for the next round of the Europa League. So some very, very difficult teams there, some very prestigious names in there who are clearly not the same as they used to be. However, it will be interesting to see who we get. I'm just delighted for what we've got to the last 32, so we'll see who we get there. Dave and I, as you probably know, we just put out a podcast the other day there, so you can go to all the usual podcast outlets there and hear that. Dave and I might be back next week. It'll probably be the following week though, so we'll have 3 games to cover. As ever, you can go to all the podcast outlets and our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com. So enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for listening and goodbye.